its mystery is overpowering. You don't simply observe its corridors, you become a part of its story. You feel the presence of the past surrounding you with every step you take. It is an entity of its own. Join us as we explore the history contained within the walls of St. Albans Psychiatric Sanitarium. It was the end of the 19th century. The United States was undergoing great economic, political, and cultural change. It was an age of progressive reform, and a more modern America was taking shape as the Gilded Age came to an end. In the largely unpopulated mountains of Southwest Virginia, George Miles had just received a large donation of land from General Gabriel C. Wharton of the Confederate Army. With it, he proceeded to build what he planned to be one of the most respected and prestigious boys' schools in the nation. The school prospered in the following years, even surviving the stock market crash of 1893 while it was still in its infancy. Quickly, it began to build a powerful reputation for its baseball and football teams. Headmaster Miles handpicked boys from around the country to play for him. So great was their reputation for success that almost every Virginia school refused to play them. The power got to their heads, and the students began to turn on each other. The athletes bullied the other students to the point where many felt forced to leave for good. As many of the more scholarly students dropped out, Miles realized that his search for the perfect athletes had ruined his chances of creating the prestigious college that he had hoped for. 1903. Only 9 years after the school first opened its doors, Headmaster Miles moved to Marion, Virginia, and passed away. This resulted in a steady decline, and in 1911, it was forced to close. The building had not seen its end, though, far from it. The early 20th century marked the beginning of psychiatry as a true medical practice. Instead of simply observing people with socially unacceptable behaviors, doctors began to perform experimental and risky procedures on patients. Among these doctors was John Cephas King, the superintendent of the Southwestern Lunatic Asylum in none other than Marion, Virginia. Unsatisfied with the rate of failure at his hospital, he set out to create a new establishment that would utilize more progressive medical techniques. In 1915, he used all $500 he owned to form a corporation and raise money for his cause. A year later, he had raised $16,000, and the first patients were admitted to the new St. Albans Sanitarium. The new building served not only as a mental institution, but also a hospital, morgue, and nursing home. Only 4 brave patients were admitted on that first day, but by 1960, the year it became a fully recognized hospital, the total had risen to 6,500. Still, it was understaffed and overcrowded. At this time, there were 48 staff members, only 2 of which were doctors. King was a firm believer in moral management, the new ideology behind psychiatric treatments at the time. Cement cells and chains were replaced by beds, sheets, and curtains. A comfortable domestic environment was established, as it played a huge role in the recovery process and counterbalanced the physically and mentally painful procedures. No stranger to these procedures is current owner Timothy Gregory. After spending nearly his entire childhood here and enduring the grueling process of electroshock therapy, he is now devoted to restoring the facility that he once called home. After decades of vandalism, decay, and neglect, the building is now being remodeled to hold a restaurant and rooms for guests. That is, if they're brave enough to stay overnight. Almost any given weekend, ghost hunting groups set up camp in the facility, performing ESP readings in an attempt to contact the supernatural. Some even develop personal relationships with the spirits, calling them by name and holding conversations. The notorious C3 ward contains the majority of the activity. 4 suicides have been recorded there alone, and you can feel the unrest in the air immediately as you walk in. One of the deaths on record is that of a 3-year-old boy named Jacob. The team monitors his room closely and places toys on the floor in hopes that he will move them ever so slightly. Audio recordings are taken every time an ESP session is performed, sometimes with eerily clear results. Maybe it's sheer curiosity, Or maybe it's the thrill of experiencing the unknown. But most visitors find that their experience at St. Albans sticks with them. This landmark of the New River Valley has a rich history worth exploring. With luck and the support of the community, it will be here for many years to come.